Hi, I'm Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles. Today, my co-host is no stranger to the world of public service. He became the Chief of Staff and de facto spokesperson of former President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo. He's none other than Mike Defensor.
Thank you, Atty. Trixie. Good morning po sa inyo, Secretary. And of course, napakaaga po nitong show ninyo. But I'm very thankful to be your co-host today. And of course, ako po I'm willing to take the challenge. But for today, you're watching The Spokes.
From the palace halls, then to our group chats now,
We will be giving you conversations that will make you think and assess.
so that you could come up with your own personal opinion.
What we want to present are two sides of each political or governance concern.
Well, apparently, Zaldi Co won't be returning due to serious threats to his life. This is our first noted on The Spokes. So, what do you think?
Alam mo to, Attorney Trixie, ako naniniwala that really Zaldi Co would have that position. Why?
Of
Because at this stage, siya yung lumalabas na mastermind.
Okay.
Siya yung tinuturo ng lahat. And of course, pagka ganun yung sitwasyon, they're saying that yung ang kadugtong, yung kay Martin Romualdez.
Okay.
And so, yan na. You don't know now who, may mga, sabi nga niya, galit yung mga Pilipino sa kanya. May mga galit na kasama niya. So, this is the situation precisely of Congressman Zaldi Co. But Attorney Trixie, just an observation.
Okay.
Pagka si Zaldi Co, for example, nagtapat at sinabi niya na hindi ako ang mastermind,
Yan.
meron pa akong boss, no? At meron pa akong mga kasama, no? Hindi ako yung pinaka-beneficiary nitong mga nangyayari nito, then he becomes part of the the witness protection program as a state witness.
He can.
Di ba? So, yan yung sitwasyon ni Zaldi. In this situation, he is now the mastermind, but maybe in the future, pwede siyang maging state witness if he is able to prove na talagang hindi siya ang punot dulo at nagmamanipula nitong mga nangyayari.
Well, according to his lawyer, he's citing threats to his life. Do you think these threats are real?
Yeah, I think so. For example, pag pinatay mo si Zaldi Co, pinatay mo si Paul Estrada, at saka pinatay mo si Mark Texay. Ito yung tatlong kasama, yung dalawang assistant niya at saka siya.
Yeah.
Wala namang makakapagturo, makapagsalita kung ano talagang scheme. No, what is exactly the scheme that is happening now? Because what we're witnessing now is actually just the DPWH issue. Ito pa lang to eh. But what if, kung totoo yung sinasabi ni Sergeant Gutesa na may linggon-linggong pondo, may linggon-linggong pera na binibigay sa kanila at iniipon nila at dinideliver din nila?
Yikes. So, but this is bigger pala than we thought, ano?
Oh, yes. Oh. And if you were the lawyer, Attorney Trixie, ikaw, abogada ka, what would you advise Congressman Zaldi Co?
Well, yeah, if I was his lawyer. Well, kung ngayon na nasa labas siya, I don't know. Actually, it depends eh. Kung ano yung hamon ng kasaysayan, depende rin yan kung ano nangyayari. For example, what if it's a temperature ng publiko? Sino naniniwala ba that it ends with Zaldi Co?
That's
Do you
right.
honestly think that it ends there? It couldn't have happened without the knowledge of higher-ups. Ilan lang ang higher-up?
Tama.
Oh,
And
so,
you know, Attorney Trixie, may isa tayong case dati na nangyari. If you recall si General Garcia
correct.
sa Armed Forces of the Philippines. Nahuli yung pamilya niya, inuwi siya dito, nagkaroon ng investigation. Alam mo nangyari doon? Nagkaroon siya ng plea bargain. Inamin niya.
Yeah.
Siya talaga. Siya yung mastermind, kinulong siya, nagsoli siya, if I'm not mistaken, 200 million pesos. Pero yung pamilya na were allowed to live in the United States. Wala na
Yes,
dito eh. So siya hanggang ngayon nakakulong sa Bilibid prisons. Now, in the case of Zaldi,
Nakalabas na yata.
yes,
Kasi,
he was issued a pardon if I'm not mistaken. No? At that time, nakakulong siya. Now, in the case of Zaldi, siyempre, kung siya yung abogado, ang tinitingnan na abogado, ano ba yung kliyente ko? Mastermind ba to? o ito ay kasangkapan lang or one of the players, underboss, kumbaga sa mafia, hindi pa siya yung boss of the boss, doon sa kabuuang operation na ginagawa nila sa pagkulimbat ng pera at kaba ng bayan.
Correct. Incidentally, yung lawyer ni Congressman Zaldi is
Attorney
Rui Rondain.
Rondain, yes.
And he used to represent former first gentleman Mike Arroyo.
Yes.
Did you ever have a chance to meet him?
Yes, in fact, naging abogado rin yan ni Congressman Mikey Arroyo. And I was listening listening to his press call. Actually, kinakabahan nga ako dahil, I mean, to be honest, si Attorney Rondain is a good lawyer. At kung legal lang pag-usapan, magaling to. Kasi ang sinasabi niya,
yes.
as of now, wala kami nakikitang kaso against Congressman Zaldi Co. No, sabi niya, and we're willing to face that. Kaya nga, importante yung galaw ng gobyerno. Importante, mabilis yung gobyerno. For example, sabi niya, how can you cancel the passport of my client? Wala pa Wala pa kayong fina-file na case. So I'm thinking, Attorney Trixie, in the situation like this, kasi lahat ng mga magnanakaw pa dyan, no? Those who are involved, na binabanggit yung mga pangalan, paano kung naglalabas na ng pera? Paano kung tinatakas na yung pera? Di ba may sinabi yung air asset? Sabi niya, hindi. Tingnan mo si Attorney Rondain, magaling talaga. Sabi niya, wala pagaling aeroplano si Congressman Zaldi Co. Pag-aari yun ng Masibis Corporation.
Which is?
Owned by Zaldi Co, di ba? Pero, I mean,
pero ano nga yun yung mga pagkakaalam natin, and dito kasi nag-PCGG ako for a while.
Oh, yes.
So Marcos Sr., minsan 10, ang daming levels
Layers.
ng kanyang pagtatago ng pera. So pero dito, ang naman nun, kaagad may CVs, that's what, 1 or 2 steps away. Madali ipatunayan yung criminal liability dyan.
yes. And then, Attorney Trixie, you mentioned PCGG. Imagine, nagbuo tayo ng isang ahensya ng gobyerno to attack, I mean, not attack, but to sequester and eventually bawiin yung pera at assets ng gobyerno. In this particular case, yung kay PCGG, bahabaan And as you mentioned, layers by layer. Pero dapat tingin ko rin magkaroon ng batas para mabilis natin mahabol at mapa-cancel yung mga passport ng mga taong lumalabas. Kasi si Mark Texay, si Paul Estrada, wala na sa bansa.
Actually, kung gusto talaga ng administrasyon, makikiusap sila magpa-cancel ng mga visa.
That's right.
So, hindi kailangan passport.
Passport.
So, para sa akin, doubtful yon. Kung gusto talaga nilang habulin itong mga to, maraming paraan, hindi lang yung pagkansela ng
visa.
passport.
Paano yung pera sa AMLA? Can they just send notice? So, okay, pagdating sa passport, cancellation of visa, in effect, pwede na. Unless yung bansa, no visa policy.
Oo, correct.
Makakataka siya. But, with an Interpol,
red notice.
Pwedeng nga hindi red pwedeng yung blue
lang,
notice, di ba? Na they can warn these people, medyo mapapahirapan na. But in the case of AMLA, paano natin mahinto yung pag-alis ng pondo, kung nagtatago ng pondo, pag-withdraw ng pondo?
Hindi naman matigil yung investigation ng AMLA just because umalis yung tao.
Or can we serve notice to AMLA, let's say, itong mga taong to are persons of interest or
considered
concern?
served yung basta meron kang permanent address na serve doon, siya yung bahala mag-explain na hindi siya nakatanggap ng notice.
Kasi yung iba wala pang kaso
Ayun yung problema. Bakit wala pang kaso yung mga yan?
If you notice,
So again,
yung lumabas sa ICI, marami doon, or more than half, hindi pa nakasuhan. So, and I agree also doon sa punto naman nila na medyo itama naman natin yung kaso. Hindi naman pwedeng after 5 years, matalo lang din tayo. So, there are 2 concerns. Ma-filean ka agad, ma-hold ng pondo, ma-hold ang travel nila, but at the same time, kailangan number 2 is that we have a strong case that we will file against them. Kaya ang feeling ko nga, dapat sana may special law just so ma-address itong particular issue na to.
yeah, but if we make one, hindi siya retroactive. So, and which reminds us, on our next topic, the ICI is calling on the Ombudsman to investigate former DPWH Secretary Manuel Bonoan and Yusek Roberto Bernardo and Yusek Maria Catalina Cabral
That's correct. Actually, Attorney Trixie, doon nga ako nagtaka nung una. Bakit hindi kasama si Secretary Manny Bonoan? Siya nga yung Secretary ng DPWH.
Correct. Tapos they allowed him. In fact, di ba sa Senate, nag-blue ribbon na.
Yes.
Tapos nag-resign siya.
Yes.
Tapos hindi na siya natawag uli.
Yes.
So,
ano,
yun,
tinanong ko si Senator Mercoleta dyan. Sabi ko, that time he was chairman eh.
Yes.
Sabi ko, Kadante, Senator, bakit mo pinatayo na si Secretary Bonoan? At that time, sabi niya, hindi, don't worry. Kasi at that time naman, wala pang mention of his name. But sabi niya, eventually, we will call him sa committee. So, that was before the Diskaya exposure.
Correct.
So, paglabas ng Diskaya exposure, hindi na siya yung chairman ng Blue Ribbon Committee. But definitely, Secretary, I've worked with him, no? Secretary Manny Bonoan. Si Secretary, Undersecretary Cabral, I've worked with her when she was still the policy. Kaya nga iniisip ko noon, siguro hindi ma-involve sa corruption dahil policy eh. But eventually pala, yung pagprograma ng mga proyekto, nandun na din sa policy.
Yes.
Pero dapat talaga, and again, sorry to say, wala naman po ako, nothing personal against them. Kasi si Yusek Bernardo lumabas na eh. Pero dapat sana talaga, ma-hold kagad yung kanilang pag-alis at ma-hold yung pondo. Kasi yun naman ang ano ng tao na, ang tagal na, 2 months? Alam naman nilang there will be eventually yung mga pangalan nila, paano yung pera?
Bago pa nga na, nag-announce pa na magka-create ng ICI. Di pa create nyo na kaagad.
Yes.
Diba? So, yun nga, it gives rise to the suspicion na bakit yung pinapatagal ito?
Oo.
Kasi umpisa pa lang, alam na nila. In fact, dun pa lang na fact check si Presidente sa 5,500 flood control projects. Tapos inulan, binaha. Hindi ba dapat dun pa lang nag-imbestiga na?
Tama.
So,
tama. I agree. And siguro, hindi lang tong sa DPWH. Ako naniniwala sa maraming departamento may nangyari. Because now, ang lumalabas na kwento ng maraming tao, yung ginagawang systematic corruption. Diba? Yung sa DPWH is one. Kasi normal yan, no? But what about DOH? What about DepEd?
Marami pa.
Oo. Ang nangyayari pala, in the end, ito na naman yung sistema. You're talking about, again, 25-30% corruption, select contractors. Kailangan tingnan yan. Kasi panahon na maayos at mabago yan. Hindi dapat tuloy-tuloy itong sistema na nangyari na in fact, kung di na ano na to talaga, alam na to ng mga bangko eh. Alam na lahat ng congressman to. Alam na ng mga mayor. Bakit? Kasi hiningan yung congressman. So yung congressman, papaliwanag sa mayor. Kikwento kay kapitan. Yung contractor magpapaliwanag sa bangko. So all these things put together, naririnig at nalalaman ng tao.
Nakikita natin parang inilalayo dun sa executive eh. Kasi like you said, bakit ngayon lang tinatawag si ano? But do you think na dapat same magnitude, same kumbaga, ang penalties for cabinet vis-a-vis the legislators?
Ako, wala akong judgment on how they para bang ano yung nangyaring cases. Ang ayokong nangyayari, pag nakikita ko yung isang grupo may kaso, yung isa wala. For example, what am I saying? Nagsalita si Diskaya. Ang daming sinabing pangalan. Ang daming sinabing problema. Dapat yun, kunin natin. Nagsalita si Yusek Bernardo, nagsalita si District Engineer Alcantara, sila Bryce, at yung mga gusto pang magsalita, si Sergeant Orly Gotesa, dapat kunin natin lahat yun. No? Ipunin lahat yun, ayusin lahat yun, at kasuhan.
Of course. Well, not just kasuhan. Kasi nakikita nga natin na halimbawa dun sa there's certain departments na naiiwasan but cannot help but be involved. There's budget.
Yes. Yeah, but even if there's budget, other countries have budgets, di ba? Pero dapat may role nga ang Congress, Constitution at saka Senate. Ayusin naman natin. Huwag yung ganitong pagbababoy at pagnanakaw sa kaban ng bayan. So, it's not just agencies under the microscope. Even the Office of the Vice President is facing renewed public scrutiny.
Joining us later is Attorney Ruth Castelo with the spokes returns after this short break. We're back, and you are tuned in to The Spokes.
Joining our discussion is former DTI Undersecretary, now tasked to defend and define the work of the Office of the Vice President.
Welcome to The Spokes, Attorney Ruth.
Oh yes,
Attorney
hi,
Ruth.
good morning. Happy to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you for being here. So I hear that we're preparing for the 90th anniversary. But before you answer that, babati lang muna tayo. Happy birthday, Philippine Marines!
Oh, yeah, happy birthday,
Birthday na
Philippine
Marines
Marines.
po ngayon.
Happy birthday to them.
So, and you're now heading for the 90th anniversary of the Office of the Vice President. You have some activities lined up.
Oh yes, that's right. This year is the 90th anniversary, meaning the Office of the Vice President has existed for 9 decades already,
Kailan
since
natin
1935.
1935,
Yes,
Commonwealth.
it was,
Okay.
It was on November 15, 1935, and then we've had 15th. Actually, si Vice President Duterte is the 15th Vice President of the Republic.
Okay.
And we're celebrating it. We're going to kick it off on November 10 for a small ceremony in the office. And then we celebrate on the 14th with invited vice presidents of the past who can join us. And then on November 17, we will be opening the exhibits. Also, both in the central office, and then we have 4 other satellite offices that will have the exhibits open to the public.
So that's for this month, but you're continuing your activities for the Office of the Vice President.
Oh, definitely, yes. We have existing programs and projects that are continuing, especially yung mga may budget naman, yung hindi naman natanggalan ng budget. So we have several. First, of course, the most important right now is the disaster relief operations that we have.
Attorney Ruth,
Dahil,
in your celebration, will VP Lenny be invited?
yes,
Of
of
course.
course. All vice
Vice presidents.
presidents in the past.
Okay.
And we really hope that they can all join the
course,
activities.
yes.
Waiting for
Kasi-
the RSVPs. No?
Yes, we're giving them tribute. The office and the vice president herself would want to give them the distinction of being vice presidents, and then also recognize the legacy that they left in the country. Like, for example, I can give some. Vice President Noli de Castro initiated the medical and burial assistance, which the Office of the Vice President now tried to copy. I mean, we continued it. Unfortunately, the funding for this project was removed in 2025, and then we did not propose it again for next year.
Attorney Ruth, alam mo, by tradition, the Office of the Vice President is usually the Secretary of Foreign Affairs, di ba? By tradition. Yes.
Tradition ba?
Yes,
Hindi, kasi
it
yun ang
happened
pinili
with,
ni VP Doy.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, kasi di ba parang, well, hindi naman sa US dahil Secretary of State. Nagsimula kay VP kay GMA. That she started with
DSWD siya. Yes.
Oo, pero previous to that, it was really foreign affairs. Pero si VP Inday, ang kauna-unahang din Department of Education.
Education,
Yes,
yes.
Oo. Kaya that time, yeah, when you mentioned that, kasi si VP Noli was housing eh.
Yes.
So all vice presidents had their own portfolio. Si VP Lenny wala din pala, no? Wala
She was given housing.
Yeah, she was
initially.
with NHA.
Cabinet level.
Yes,
before.
initially,
Yes.
tapos nawala.
Tapos nawala siya
Oo.
after a month. And then
Yes.
she was also given dun sa drugs.
Yeah. Kaya nga yung programs natin na
Dangerous
to,
Drugs Board.
oo. Ito stand-alone na OVP work eh. Kasi
Yes,
usually
this
the
one.
vice
Oo.
president would be also handling a department. I mean,
Oo,
traditionally.
kasi
That's
because the only constitutional mandate of the OVP is to take over in case of the incapacity of the president.
Yes.
So, but how is that worked out, Attorney Ruth? We know by tradition, the vice president can be nasa constitution din yan,
Yeah,
can be
that's right.
offered a cabinet position.
Yes.
So,
And
but,
then, well, of course, the vice president is given the prerogative to either accept or refuse the offer. And if she accepts, she can choose, or he or she can choose which department she would want to handle.
Attorney Ruth, for
And-
example, if ever given a chance, si Vice President naging presidente, at kalaban niya, katunggali niya yung kanyang Vice President, would you think that she will still ensure and give a position to her Vice President?
I would think initially, yes, she would offer a position to the Vice President. So any department, any line agency can be chosen by the new Vice President.
Yes.
As to Vice President Duterte, I don't think she will let it affect the relationship or
Yeah.
the professional relationship, as long as the Vice President is working well or is doing well in the
Yes.
department that he has chosen.
Yes, should be kasi, di ba, dapat at any given time, kahit na magkakaiba kayo ng political background,
Yeah.
at least, no, mabigyan ng department
At least ma-offer.
ma-offer,
Kasi
no?
para it's with the Vice President to
Yes.
accept or otherwise.
Yes. Other than that, kasi katulad nga na nangyari kay Atty. Ruth, kasi kami doon with the VP Lenny in Congress, ano yun pag dumaan yung budget, wala. Kahit na anong partido mo, you let it pass.
You give them the
you
courtesy.
give them the courtesy. So, para lang, just in case, no, dapat sana, may stand-alone lang talaga siyang opisina para sa mga programs niya. Kasi ngayon, nabawasan na naman kayo, no?
Kasi yung...
Unfortunately.
Magkano yung nabawas sa inyo, Atty. Ruth, this year?
Well, wala pa naman final, but the House of
Hindi
Representatives
pa yata nag-bycam.
the House is pushing for the 733 current to be repeated for next year.
To be repeated for next year.
Yeah.
The proposed today is how much?
It's well, the finally approved by the DBM is at 902.6 million.
Konti
So
lang.
almost 903 sana. Actually, yes, konti lang, sir, yung dinagdag natin.
Pero
mga
Atty. Ruth,
200
balita ko sa
million.
ngayon, marami ng congressman ang nagme-message sa inyo, nagsasabi na ma'am,
Expressing support.
expressing support, naipit na. Baka ngayon mapasa na yung budget.
Hopefully, sir.
Oo.
Sana nga po, sana.
Whether.
Because with the 903 million budget, mas marami kaming magagawa. More people will be served. Mas maraming matutulungan. With that, kahit na maliit lang yung addition, like 160 million,
Yes.
it will do a lot for us. But if they insist on putting it back to 733,
Wala
we're
kayong
also fine with it.
Yeah.
We'll just live with it, with what we have. So,
Sino ba ang nagpapababa ng budget nyo? Who made a motion?
it was Congresswoman Laila De Lima
Wow, okay.
on the plenary.
Was there any
she
formal second of the motion?
asked. I'm not sure anymore, sir.
So
But
Congresswoman Laila De Lima.
it was seconded. I remember it was seconded. The motion was seconded and approved in the House.
Would you know
during
who
the-
seconded? I also didn't see it. Attorney.
I didn't see who. I don't remember who seconded, but the chairman, the female appropriations chair,
Swansing.
yes,
Yes.
said
Congresswoman
that it has
Swansing.
been approved, so we carry it on 733 million.
But the Senate gave you a bigger budget.
I would suppose so.
Yes.
In the final run, if we can get the 903, that's what we really need for this for the coming year.
Okay.
How's your 1 million tree program?
Oh, we have already reached 1 million.
Uy, okay.
Yes, it was the Vice President who did that, who planted the 1 millionth tree
Okay,
in
yeah.
Zamboanga. And now we are already on 1,030,000. We changed the target. We increased the target to 2 million by the end of 2028. I mean, by the end of the term of the Vice President in 2028.
So, but you also have some kind of feeding program?
Yes, we have not exactly feeding program, but for disasters, for crisis. This program, it's called the Relief for Indigents and Individuals in Crisis and Emergency. So we give them food boxes with rice and a few canned goods, because unfortunately that's the only volume that the Vice President can give at this time. But nonetheless, we try to spread it to as many people as possible.
Alam mo, Attorney
We have-
Ruth, one of the things that they're saying with all the programs that you've been doing, na minention ni Attorney Trixie, sabi nila, ba't mo yung ginagawa? May mga agencies na dapat gumawa dyan. I mean, I've been hearing that.
Yes.
But you know, ako naman not to be hypocritical about it, nag-congressman ako, may ganun din naman kami. Di ba? When there are problems. Yeah, I mean, meron kaming budget sa hospital. May budget kami for the
Medical
SWD,
burial
medical assistance.
assistance.
So parang ang feeling ko lang, especially for the Vice President, why would you deprive, kahit ang Presidente, meron siyang social fund. Malaki ang social fund ng Presidente.
Yes.
Meron siyang fund for assistance. While the agencies can also do it, the particular office has the funding. Yun lang naman, Atty. Ruth. Kasi di ba madalas sinasabi, ba't namin bibigay sa inyo yung milking, yung DSWD
Or feeding,
yan?
ganyan.
Or feeding, di ba?
Yes, sir.
Pero inisip mo, kami, yung mga nagtatanong, ganun din naman, may ganung programa din naman eh.
Yes, sir. Actually, because the office of the Vice President is an integral part of the national government,
Yes.
next to the President, kaya nga siya Vice, di ba? We cannot remove the function of the President from the Vice President in terms of public service, in terms of social welfare. So the Office of the Vice President has decided to continue this program para delivery ng basic services rin doon sa mga nakakakulang na talaga. We only give to the most unserved and the most underserved and those that are not served by the other line agencies. Kasi, of course, we already know, you mentioned na sir, and Trixie, that there's the the DSW, we have the DOH also, we have
Meron kayo dito,
all
burial
other-
assistance and medical assistance, which is DSWD.
Yes, sir.
And DOH.
Yes, sir. That's right. But nothing is stopping the Office of the Vice President from augmenting the subsidy. We call it subsidy. The assistance that can be provided by the Office of the Vice President.
For
And
example,
like I said-
ngayon sa Cebu, di ba? May DSW nito doon.
Yes,
So you
sir.
went there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The Vice President went there in Cebu because I've seen a posting.
Yes, sir. We already have assistance provided to Cebu in Talisay, Cebu, and then Cebu City, Talisay City, and then Liloan. We're also going to do that.
Paano
Nothing
ginagawa
stops
nyo,
the
Atty. Ruth?
OVP.
Kunyari, nakita nyo na yung DSWD, nandiyan na, DOH, nandiyan na. How do you filter out or how do you coordinate with this, and including the National Disaster, yung NRMDC?
NDRRMDC.
Yes.
Yes, sir. This is actually coordinated well.
Okay.
Kinakausap po muna natin the local government unit if the barangay is there or the munisipyo or the city, and then we ask them where else we can help kasi sila din po ang nag-organize or nagsasabi doon sa mga ibang agencies where to go. So yung mga usually ang natitira po sa OVP, yung pinakamalalayo, yung pinakamahihirap na puntahan, so that's where we go.
Can you be, for example, in Cebu, paano nyo ho nako-coordinate yan exactly?
With the LGU.
LGU,
Yes.
tapos sasabihin, huwag na ho kayo magbigay ng ganito, ito lang bigay nyo, may ganun ba ho? Paano?
Hindi naman kasi hindi naman nila sinasabi which one.
Okay.
But we already know, of course, because everything is pre-positioned before anything happens, diba, for the OVP. So naka-ready na yung packs natin and it's basically food.
Okay, pagdating
Just
ho ng
food,
food,
and then-
coordinated kay DSWD, magbibigay po kami dito, huwag na kayo magbigay. Or DSWD will say, kulang ho kami ma'am dyan, dito na kayo
Dito
magbigay.
na kayo, pwede rin yun.
Okay.
Yes, yes. So coordinated siya and we cannot overstep the boundaries also of the other agencies. So wherever they are and they have sufficient supply to distribute, doon kami sa ibang hindi pa nabibigyan or maybe not yet in the list but also would equally need the services.
Yes.
We also have the Kalusugan food truck. We also help the first responders kasi sila yung mga...
Yung pong kalusugan
yun? Yeah.
truck ninyo, wala namang picture
This
ni...
is for the...
Wala rin.
Wala.
on that one,
Sinong
excuse.
siniserve ng kalusugan food
Oh,
truck?
it's the frontliners. That's for the
So yung
frontliners. naman,
rescue
the one
and
helping.
relief workers.
Yes,
Pagkain
that's
din.
right.
Galing, ah.
Food rin. And
Food
it's hot
din.
meals.
Okay.
It contains hot meals na syempre as relief to the first responders. Sila yung puyat, sila yung hirap, sila yung wala pang tulog. So sila rin yung binibigyan natin ng hot meals. And all these are done through the satellite offices of the Office of the Vice President. We have 10. Dito sa Cebu, we have the satellite office located in Cebu City, but it also covers Bohol and Siquijor. And then if they have, kunyari, kulang na ang kanilang capability, all the other OVP satellite offices will come to assist.
Okay.
Okay. Congress will claims that they will be refiling the impeachment case by 2026. So how is the OVP preparing for this one? Before you answer this, the spokes will return after this short break. The spokes is back. Our hanging question before we took a short break. Congress claims they will be refiling the impeachment case by 2026. So how is the OVP preparing for this?
We have a separate legal team handling this, and I'm sure, well, for sure that they are already preparing for it for next year. And we have a spokesperson there also on impeachment cases. You can ask questions to Attorney Michael Poa.
Yes. So, Attorney Ruth, itong nangyayari sabi mo kanina, di ba, may mga nakikipag-usap na sa inyo. May mga nagsasabi niya. So, napasensya, may ganun ba? Pasensya na or whatever, apologize?
Feel po siguro kay ma'am.
Okay.
Nagsasorry at nakikipagbate or something.
Oo, nagre-reach out.
Or
Tama ba?
nagre-reach out,
Nagre-reach
opo.
out. So, ano na ba to?
Or nag-shift na lang without any...
Would you say na majority na to or minority pa rin?
We cannot say po. I cannot say.
Kasi the fact na ang budget ninyo ay nabawasan sa House is an indication, but that was gaano katagal na ba yun? 2 months ago?
Maybe a couple of months ago.
So,
Pero
pwede ba
may,
Pero wala pa
may
naman yung
lumalapit.
final.
Parang ano yun, kabig.
Oo.
Di ba?
Hindi,
Ay,
pero-
sorry.
O baka,
Ganon.
ewan ko kung nagbago ng 2 buwan. So, ngayon, if there will be an impeachment to be filed, this will be ngayon na, di ba?
If ever. Tiga, may tanong ako. I saw a
Okay.
video na, ano ba yun? Pinaraffle ni VP yung mga regalo. I understand people like to give her gifts. Tapos pinaraffle niya. How did the staff respond to this?
Oh, they were very happy. They were very
Okay,
happy. Kasi, of course, these are not simple gifts rin, kahit papano, di
Kasi
ba?
VP ang binibigyan.
Yes, but the Vice President will not keep them for herself. So, nag-Halloween celebration lang ng konti sa office, and then she raffled off all those gifts.
I understand the
So,
OVP has a no-gift policy.
Yes.
Pag minsan kasi siguro cannot be avoided, like
Oo.
sent anonymously,
No,
what
kaya
can
nga,
we do?
Parang iniisip ko, so kasi dumating, so is this standard na i-raffle sa o first time nangyari to? Kasi
Na
alam ko
i-raffle?
sinasoli eh.
Kapag hindi nasoli, like if it's sent anonymously, we'll have to give it away to the Vice President will give it away
Attorney
to
Ruth,
the staff.
a personal question to you. You served during the time of Pinoy, di ba, as Undersecretary. Chairman of HLURB, of which I served sa Housing, tama?
As PRRD,
20
Undersecretary,
DTI.
2016.
2016. Okay, 2016.
DTI, no?
Yeah.
DTI and also
Parang
HLURB.
GMA, ha?
I sat in the NHA Council when
Yes.
my initial portfolio then was construction, so I sat in the NHA
Okay.
Council.
During your exposure, nakita mo yung mga kampi ninyo, di ba? Nakita mo. I mean, sino yung mga kasama politically. And ikaw, of course, masama loob mo dito sa nakikita mo ngayon or in the past years. It's a personal, nothing to do with the VP.
Yes, sir. But as spokesperson, my personal sentiment, my personal observation will not matter, sir.
Yeah, I understand. Pero masama loob mo, definitely. I have seen,
for-
tayong dalawa, nag-spokesperson tayo, nung nagkabaliktaran, di ba? You know, the first thing I said, yung mga kakampi naman, yung mga, kami naman kakampi, pabayaan yung dalawin namin si VP Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo when she was in jail, when she was in the hospital. Dahil talagang ang feeling ko, huwag kayo naman sumobra, di ba? There's a line between politics and personal. And of course, sa'yo, ganun din yung nararamdaman mo.
I will say only this once, sir. I am not happy with what I see, how things are going, because I feel very bad for the country.
Yes, especially so for some
Said.
people
Well
in the
said.
Davao region where you studied, nakita mo rin yung mga kampi nyo na nandun nung araw. Correct?
Yes, sir. There are still a lot of them, sir.
And what about VP Sara? Would you say na may ganyan siyang sentiment?
I think she is above sentiments already. She's just focused on how to move forward, how to steer the office of the Vice President forward. And we aim to finish with a standing ovation in 2028.
Nung panahon, Attorney Ruth, na nakulong si Attorney, sino to, yung kanyang Chief of Staff, doon sa Congress, what's her name? Si,
Attorney Laika.
yeah, VP Sara, I'm sorry. Yung Chief of Staff niya, sino yun?
Yes, sir. Si Yusek Lopez.
Yusek
Yes,
Lopez,
Yusek.
who's also from Cebu, na anak din ni
Cebu
former
pala siya.
Davao.
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 The daughter of former Congressman Lopez, di ba, of Davao. Nagkaroon siya ng outburst at that time eh. So now you're saying, and I've been noticing naman, I've been observing, na si VP Sara, itong mga ganito, tinanggal niya na yan. You know, focus na tayo, wala na tayong ganitong galit. Is that...
This time, no emotions. We just continue to work. Anything political, she made it clear that anything political that's happening around us should not affect the office of the Vice President or any of its staff. So lahat kami, ngayon, diretso lang kung ano yung mandato. As soldiers, we move on. We do not let it get to our minds or we do not let it affect us because ang kailangan po ng tao, serbisyo, hindi po kailangan ng tao ng mamroblema kami because of all the political bungling that's happening.
But let me understand, as the spokesperson, are you also the head of communications? Or
No, ma'am.
iba pa yun?
Iba pa yun. That's another person.
So, but you speak for the office of the Vice President?
Yes,
Because
and,
the VP speaks for herself?
herself,
So,
yes.
similar to the setup sa the President, I understand, is also the same. He speaks for himself. But there is ano ba yun? Palace spokesperson ba ang tawag?
Hindi,
kay
ako, ano yun eh. It shouldn't happen. Sorry Nung tumakbo si GMA noon, sabi nila, Mike, dahil kampanya to, you'll be the campaign spokesperson.
Okay,
Only
so
Toting
clear
Bunye,
yung
yeah, only Secretary Toting Bunye was allowed to, he is the one on governance. Talagang governance. Like Attorney Ruth, no, she would like, and I understand her na, teka, governance lang din kami. Of course,
Dito
maghahalo
sila sa,
minsan. Hindi mo naman maiwasan yung ganon. Pero ito, parang ang feeling ko, political na political yung nangyayari.
Sa akin kasi, the President speaks for himself. So, for example,
okay.
personal, and in fact, if there are any policies that are in the works, ganon. But ako, I spoke for the government.
For
So,
governance.
iba yan. Yes, because the President is a political figure. So, politics kanya yan.
Okay.
So, but the governance, like, if a policy has been issued, I will make the announcement. I would announce foreign relations and all that in coordination with the DFA.
Oh, yes.
So if it was very specific, yung DFA nag-ano. So in the case of the OVP, you speak for the office. Pareho ba tayo? Like you speak for the office of the Vice President because also the President, the VP for a time was also DepEd Secretary. So iba rin yung spokes for the DepEd.
Right, right. My mandate is to speak for the Office of the Vice President and the official acts of the Vice President.
Yes.
So politics, personal, family, ICC is beyond my authority to speak on.
Attorney Ruth, I noticed, doon sa celebration nyo, 15, tas may 17 kayo. So yung, there is a rally on the 16th, 17th, and 18th.
All right.
Diba? Meron led by the Iglesia ni Cristo,
Right.
dito sa may Quirino, and another one in EDSA, led
Yes,
by
sir.
groups which include my boss, Attorney Trixie. No, but anyway, so itong darating na mga rallies na to, hindi attend si Vice President.
It should be in her schedule if any invitation
If there's an
went to
invitation,
her.
okay.
Should be in her, in the scheduler. But for
Yes.
confirmation or not, whether it's confirmed or not, I am not sure.
Yes, oo. Kasi parang, di ba, the past several months, tahimik si VP about all these things about the issues sa flood control, sa scam. Would you know, Attorney Ruth, ano yung disposition niya? Bakit ganon?
Baka nagre-recover muna, gaining more energy to face more problems or to face bigger problems
Pero
later
ang
on.
daming
Medyo
yung
relax,
activities.
nagre-relax.
Ang daming yung like, ito, of course, ang lakas ni VP sa Mindanao, but she's everywhere, kumbaga.
That's right, that's right.
So, may daily activities siya. Hindi ka napapagod. Everyday, may information overload din yan eh. And it's as the information officer, the primary one that's seen by the public, kamusta?
Actually, on the
Busy
ground,
ng boss eh.
oo, on the ground, tahimik lang naman. Kasi like you would know that if you don't see the Vice President on TV or on social media, it does not mean that she's not working. Kasi there's so many things to do in the
That's right.
until 8, 9 o'clock, there are still schedules coming in. So, hindi naman niya, parang to her, hindi niya kailangan magsalita every day or magpakita sa TV every day. Even the Office of the Vice President, even us doing the programs, hindi naman natin kailangan na palaging may media. But the important thing is, we do our job every day. Na-accomplish natin, and we are able to deliver what we're supposed to deliver.
Attorney Ruth, balik lang ako ng konti, re-rewind lang ako dun sa impeachment. Kasi parang pumasok na tong, of course, pagka nagawa na nila to in Congress, they were able to impeach her. And then it goes to the Senate. Ang sinasabi ng marami ngayon is yung mga allies niya or those identified with her. For example, sinasabi, arestuin na si Bongo, Senator Bongo, and Senator
May mga ganyan na nga eh.
Bato de la Rosa. Tapos na-file na si Senator Joel Chua and Senator Jingo Estrada.
Joel Villanueva.
sorry.
Senator Villanueva.
So, Joel Chua pala sa Congress, no? Anyway, Joel Villanueva, parang ito yung supposedly allies niya dun sa block, di ba? If I'm not mistaken. So, ano ang pananaw ng Vice Presidente dito na tinatanggal na yung mga kaalyado niya para pag akyat sa Senado, mas mabilis siya matanggal at ma-impeach bilang Vice President? And of course, to be disbarred from running for President in 2028. Disqualified.
So,
That's a totally political question that the Vice President herself can respond. Can respond to.
Yes.
Sir Mike.
So same, politics for the
Yeah, politics
VP,
is-
and then governance, OVP.
That's right.
Yun,
Because
so-
the governance
So,
and
ito.
the institution does not have politics.
So ito, the COA, as ever, has given you an unqualified opinion dun sa ano. What does this actually mean when it's an unqualified opinion? Does it simply mean that you have complied with all the forms and all the formats?
Yes, okay. So let me just emphasize that the unqualified audit opinion given by the Commission on Audit has been happening since 2023.
Oo nga, since,
diba? So we
ano,
have
since the
had
start,
that
yes,
since 2023, 2022, 2023, and then 2024. By unqualified audit opinion, it means that the agency is able to fairly present the documents covering the financial transactions. It has been found to be transparent, so everything that they needed to see is there. It has been found to be honest because what we submit in the reports are actually covered by all these documents, receipts, or whatever acknowledgement is needed to justify or to prove that the transaction took place. So the unqualified, unmodified, and unqualified,
Yes.
interchangeable audit opinion means that the Office of the Vice President has fairly presented our financial documents covering financial transactions. It is honest, it is transparent. And we've had that for the last 3 years.
I'm sure, Attorney Ruth, sa office nyo ngayon, medyo paranoid, no, sa lahat. Pagka may bidding, pagka may purchasing. Kasi, di ba? I would think na ang thinking nyo lahat is maghahanap ng butas.
We all exercise prudence in our
Yeah.
spending and in our submissions of financial
Yes.
documents.
Yes. Kasi hindi maalis minsan, di ba, sa government naman talaga, medyo detailed lahat eh. Pagbili mo ng gas, resibo, ganito. So ngayon siguro talagang triple check sa lahat na talagang, kasi dati pagka sinabit mo, sasabihin lang, may kulang ka. Or
Yes.
fix this, di ba? Ang tawag
Ako,
dyan?
praning ako sa
Oo,
ganyan.
yes.
I even watch everything that I sign. And I have to make sure na may recommending authority parate.
Oh, pero ako noon, alam mo, ang recommendation sa akin, pag napirmahan na nung head ng back, plus the legal, dumaan
Yes,
na.
Ayun din, legal dapat talaga.
In good faith ka na even if you sign.
Kaya nga, that's the
Kasi pag,
the Arias doctrine, pag na-recommend na.
yeah.
One last. The VP Sara is famous for her humor. I've
very
been
strong
on the
sense of
receiving
humor.
end of that. So like at the Kamuning Bakery, somebody asked her a question about the president, and then she sees me in the audience and says, si Attorney Trixie sasagot niyan. So, could you give us just a glimpse? Kayo ba, have you ever been on the receiving end of her very famous humor?
Not me as the subject of her humor, but she would just say, dali lang yan, kaya mo yan. So, ganyan lang. If you ask her a question, she will just say, parang pwede naman. And then she will crack a joke. So,
Ako, Attorney Ruth, on the other side naman, kasi she's projected as tough, and I've dealt with her naman tagang tough.
Yeah.
Were there mga moments na, kasi yung attack ba, paano niya binavalue yung mas mabigat ba sa kanya o masakit sa kanya yung attack sa kanya or attack dun sa kanyang pamilya, which includes the President Duterte?
The vice president, as you would see, is a very strong person. If she's the one who even said you'll find her unbowed in the end, diba? After all this is happening. But of course, anything that pertains to her family, anything that affects her family, especially the father who's now in The Hague, brings her down. But she still wouldn't let it. She gets up fighting, and she's still fighting up to now.
And when she's down, I mean, I don't really know as a woman, as a mother, as a daughter, how does she express her sadness in all of this?
No, she's also prayerful. Not many people would know that, but she's also prayerful, and she has devotions also, particular devotions. So that should be helping her spiritually become more aware and become more prepared to face whatever challenges she may have.
Thank you, Attorney.
And she's different. She's different. Like in the office, you would see her happy, jolly. Yeah.
Thank you, Attorney Ruth.
Thank you, Attorney Ruth.
The spokes will still return after this short break. Maraming salamat. And we're back. So, first time na nakausap ko si Attorney Ruth.
Yes, oo
for,
nga.
at least for a significant period usually. Hi, Attorney Ruth.
Ako
Hanggang ganun lang.
first time I've met Attorney Ruth. And maganda kasi you could also see na, I know yung parameters because prior to Attorney Ruth, kaibigan ko si Attorney Reynold Monsayak.
Okay, yes.
So si Attorney Reynold Monsayak would tell me, ito lang yung parameters ko. Sabihin ko, bakit hindi kayo sumagot dito? Or ba't wala kayong statement on this? So sinasabi niya, hindi, very clear kasi si VP on the governance and on the political side.
Yes,
But Attorney Ruth handled it well na talagang, syempre hindi naman ma-avoid, but she would be kind enough to say na hindi ko or she would give a little of her opinion and say, dito dapat, ito yung sasagot na tao.
I think today ko na-realize that she really reflects yung style na gusto ni VP.
Yes.
Kasi even if meron ngang some personal stuff, but she's very stricto siya dun sa
Yes.
governance and very graceful naman.
Yes.
Hindi mo napapansin, di ba? Hindi masyadong napapansin na sumisegue na tayo dun sa
Yun nga parati ko sinasabi, Attorney Trixie, sana kay Undersecretary Claire Castro, I mean, trabaho niya yun I'm not imposing anything, pero, let's say, Partido Federal as a political party, may be very, very political. But
Correct,
as far as the governance departments are concerned, like DFA, DepEd, dapat talaga on the governance side. And ako nga on the Gutesa issue, pati ako, may sinabi si Undersecretary Castro.
Nabanggit ka?
May binanggit Tapos sabi ko, I didn't anymore reply, pero ang feeling ko lang, hindi naman involved ang presidente dun
Exactly.
Diba?
In fact,
Why would you
there's-
talk about these things?
There are statements about Anjo Iliana.
Exactly. O yun.
Oh, diba?
Parang,
Parang ano.
why do you dwell into something na parang nag-a-attract ka ng away sa opisina ng Pangulo? And then, yun nga, ang importante is really the governance. The
Yes,
governance. But anyway, as I've said, kanya-kanyang style yan.
Yes.
But in the end, ang maapektuhan yung opisina, yung boss mo
Yes.
Diba? Like in the case of Atty. Ruth, the Vice President, and for Secretary Castro, it is the Office of the President.
So, this wraps up today's episode of The Spokes. Happy birthday, Philippine Marines. So for now, don't settle for just one side of the story.
Because every issue has two perspectives and the truth may be somewhere in between.
I'm Attorney Trixie Cruz-Angeles.
Ma'am, thank you so much for this. I'm your co-host, Mike Defensor. And we are The Spokes.